I'm Metal Matt here, and I'm here today in Mexico, and there's people screaming outside, but it's not Rob Halford. But I am here today to talk about Rob Halford, or to be more specific, the new Judas Priest Panic Attack song. I'm myself, I'm a big Priest fan, you know, and I'm a singer myself. I took a lot of influence from Priest music. You may enjoy my songs, The King of Hearts and Burn the Priest, if you like that kind of screaming classic heavy metal sound. But today I'm here to talk about this one. I am more of a fan of the pre-KK leaving Judas Priest, you know, up to Angel of Retribution, Nostradamus. I feel they were still being very unique and creative, and the sound itself was very Priest and consistent to Priest. I feel after he left, the kind of albums with Richie Faulkner, the Redeemer of Souls, Firepower, all that stuff, I never got into that as much. Richie's a fantastic player. It's not down to him so much, it's more the sound I feel overall changed, and the lyrical kind of aspect of the songwriting, and I mean the sound itself is quite different, and it's just not the Judas Priest I remember. So I've kind of went off a bit after the Nostradamus, you know, onwards. I enjoyed Nostradamus there, but after that, I kind of didn't get into it as much after once Redeemer of Souls come along and Firepower, and I feel it's a bit cliche, a lot of it, you know, even the titles, you know, Firepower and Redeemer of Souls, it's all kind of things which are not as imaginative, maybe a bit more kind of fantasy, but in a way that lacks kind of anything real. I feel the old Priests kind of songs and lyrics were talking about things which were a bit more real, and there was still an aspect of fantasy, but it was a bit more unique the way they did it, and I feel the subject matter was maybe a bit more interesting years ago. But so that's why I'm not a big listener of the newer stuff, but I'm going to give this one a go, Panic Attack, and see what I think. I'm always impressed by Rob's vocals, you know, his vocal performance is always spot on. I love how he sings, and I'm just going to listen to see if this song is a bit more unique to the Judas Priest I remember, and what I personally like myself, so I'm just going to listen to it now. Look. That's a nice sound, a bit synthesizer-ish. Turbo springs to mind a little. The Turbo album, you know. It's kind of very Richie, but kind of a bit synthesizer too, so it's kind of interesting. Not sure what I think of the video. Bit of a corny kind of visual, but quite a cool riff that. I'm waiting for Scott. I feel in the later years Scott doesn't always do as interesting drums as he did on that first Painkiller album. I'm waiting for some really impressive drums. Quite cool vocals there from Rob, very I like his kind of gritty but kind of clean. That's good vocals from Rob. I think it's good how he switches between that kind of voice and then kind of goes from both, which is what he's known for. Shows he can still do it. That's good. It's kind of got the low Panic Attack, Panic Attack. It's kind of got both underneath, Panic Attack. Kind of all layers. Good so far. I think the pace is cool. the power. Better lyrics on this one than I've heard for a while. Alien nations fleeing. Strange lyrics. Cybertronic schemes. Fiber optic, mass hypnotic. Wild neurotic memes. That's an interesting lyric there. Maybe it's about everyone. Wild neurotic memes! Very strong highs there. I like the lyrics are quite cool. It's kind of about the technological age, which I've done a lot of songs about myself. I'm not a big fan of the technology advancements which are ever coming and sterilising the world, making everything pretty sterile existence. So it kind of resonates with me, these lyrics. But let's hear that once more. I do like that a lot. Not sure about that bit, but this next bit. Mass hypnotic, what pneumatic means. It's kind of good how he goes from low to high. I like that. The overall sound is great. I think his voice he's using well on the riffs. Yeah, I prefer this one a lot more than the one I reviewed last time off their new album, which was I can't even think what it was called now. So I haven't listened to this album much, but the last song I didn't stick with me as much. Trial by Fire, but this one's a lot more priesty as I remember it. Cool lyrics as well. I think Rob went all out on these lyrics, a bit more interesting, a bit more depth. Disconnecting from the World Wide Web. I like what he does with his voice there. It's kind of he lifts it, if you notice. Cynicism. Then disconnecting Wide Web. Kinda, I like the up and down, troughs and peaks. Very nice. Nice guitar work there. Sounds a bit Glenish, that. All those quick bits sound quite Richie. I can't really tell. Might be Richie playing there. Musically, a lot more interesting than the last one I did, so that's good. Kind of reminds me of the Twin duo, which we like to hear reprise, the whole Twin sound, kind of twin harmonies. Do what's right. He's very precise, Rob. If you notice, it's always do what's right. Right. Sights. Panic attack. That's cool. Digitally, criminally insane. Lots of rhyme in there, but it's still pretty cool. But the high note itself, excellent. Shows he's still got it. Digitally, criminally insane! And it fades out, very nice. I like the use of the fading out of the high note as well. Fades out into the music. Good, yeah, I enjoyed that. That's a lot more how I remember Priest being. Probably the best song I've heard over the years out of all the albums they've done without KK. You know, that's the only one. I thought that sounds a bit more Priest, how I like to hear it. You know, so yeah, no, that's cool. And I think, yeah, I think they did some good guitar harmonies and all that kind of stuff. I think I still prefer the KK's Priest, what he's doing. Obviously, KK's doing this KK's Priest band now, which is you know, another version of Priest basically, which is very cool. So it's cool we've got them both. Lots of new music coming from both. I think yeah, I love that he's really keeping the metal alive and how I remember it overall, you know. But I'm loving this with Rob's kind of sound of his voice. That's what particularly stands out. And the music is very cool on this one, actually. Lots of nice harmonies and kind of sounded like a kind of twin duo kind of harmonies in there. Nice sounds overall. But I love how Rob's used his voice. That's how I think people want to hear Rob sing, you know, that kind of lots of different levels of his voice. You know, he's going from panic attack to panic attack, and then all the kind of all that kind of gritty voice, as well as the growly kind of vocals. It's kind of a real mixture all over the place, and the way he uses his voice is very unique. So yeah, overall very cool. I think lyrically I like it. Like I say, it resonates with me, the actual substance of the song. So nice to hear them do something a bit more original, not just March of the Damned or whatever. It's just referencing, you know, TV shows or anything like that. It sounds like he's kind of got something to say in this song, talking about the digital age and all that kind of thing. So yeah, interesting this one. I did enjoy that, and it's great that Priest are releasing some cool music. It's I think overall from the different songs I've heard off this album, I'm not finding the overall impressive, but that particular song very cool. I think I was impressed with KK's new stuff because every song is bang on. What I like with the kind of sound, you know, is very extreme, screaming vocals, crazy solos. So overall, I've kind of, from what I've heard, I prefer that. What he's doing definitely, but for this song, I find this very interesting, and I'll have to listen to a bit more because I think the few songs I have heard so far, this is the only one that Priest have done which I really think, yeah, that's what they should be doing. That's what I remember. That's what I grew up on. That kind of sound. That's what, you know, instantly resonates with me. So yeah, cool sound. Nice guitar playing. The drums, I find Scott isn't as adventurous as he once was. He used to do some crazy stuff. Angel of Retribution, he did some crazy stuff on songs like Hell Rider. So maybe one of the other songs on the album, he's went all out to do something impressive. I'm hoping he has, but I haven't found it yet, so I'll have to keep listening there. But yeah, I think as musicians overall, the vocals and the guitars particularly stand out. I think you could kind of hear the bits of Glenn and Richie in there. There was a lot of Richie, I think, seems the overall, but yeah, it's hard to kind of say because there's so many different elements to the song. But yeah, I think that was a more straightforward Priest classic. And Rob, great to hear him using his voice a bit more. I think he keeps it safe a bit more these days. He tries to stay safe a bit with his vocals. He doesn't always do anything as adventurous, but on the later stuff, but this was very much impressive, nice high notes, and you took it up a level at the end, which is what's always good. That's kind of like Victim of Changes, where there's, you know, peaks and troughs, and it kind of it gets to a peak and takes you back down and then back up again, and that's kind of what I got with this song, and that's what is synonymous with Judas Priest, that they take you on a journey. And yeah, no, it was cool. I think it was good track, and yeah, I'll be listening to both KK's Priest and Judas Priest, I think, as they're both doing some cool stuff. But I think I like that KK's definitely keeping the sound alive in a consistent way, and he's bringing that sound which I've always loved, you know, and keeping that extreme Judas Priest sound alive. So yeah, I think it's good to have a bit of both going on, and it's nice to hear Rob. Rob's always been a voice which is like my favourite of all time, so it's nice to hear him using his voice in a way which is really cool, and how you kind of remember it. So yeah, overall very cool. I think if they keep doing stuff like this, it's gonna be good. So yeah, and with the other songs, I found Rob's age of his voice was a bit more, you could tell they were an older band now on the last song I reacted to, but this one, it's more alive, it's more electric, it's very you know, it's not an aged sound as much. This is kind of how you want to hear classic Judas Priest heavy metal sound, you know, with some power and some speed. The pace is what I think really was great as well. It wasn't a slow, kind of old, kind of, you know, keeping up with the music sound. It was more very pacey, and it worked. I think that speed is something that Judas Priest has been lacking a bit on the other recent albums. So yeah, that kind of pace is taking you back to a place where Free Will Burning and Painkiller Land was, you know, a bit more what you want to hear, I think, this song. So yeah, cool. I'm gonna go take my iguana for a walk now, so adios guys. Okay, is that normal? I think it's normal to do that. Have an iguana waving goodbye at the end of the video. That's something I think everyone should do, really. Anyway, time to put the fans on even. I've had them off for this fucking video because it's noisy. But I'm in Mexico, so you can imagine how hot it is in this room right now. But anyway, please subscribe, hit the notifications bell, because if you don't see any of the videos. YouTube have done that where you can all subscribe and you think, great, I love this, subscribe, and then you won't see them again because you didn't hit the notifications thing. So you've got to turn on notifications and subscribe, which is lame, and I'm not liking the way YouTube is going with how things are, you know. But it's kind of how the technological age has went, really. It's they don't want to help you. If you're a YouTuber or musician or anything, you've got to really try to get people to see what you're doing, even though these platforms should just put them out there to the right places. Unless you're paying for ads and all this stuff, they try not to make it easy for people to see you. So yeah, try and turn on the notifications and things, and then you might actually see what's going on, and actually see any new uploads. So yeah, adios guys. Have a good day. Brenna Stardust.